So, how does attraction work? So, in order to understand how asexuality works, we have to get a better understanding of how attraction works. And to understand how attraction works, we first have to get our minds around three ideas: arousal, libido, and attraction. Now, we typically think of these three things as all wrapped up together. We think of them as interchangeable, that they're the same experience. But in reality, they're not. They're three separate experiences. And understanding the differences between the three can really help us understand attraction and asexuality. Arousal is up first. Arousal is the feeling in the moment of your body waking up and your mind waking up to be ready for some kind of sexual activity. It can have a cause, or it can just show up without warning. But what's important about arousal is its specificity to the moment. It's what's happening in your body and in your mind right now. Libido is a way for us to think about the intensity and frequency of arousal. Libido is whether or not arousal is intense or less intense, if it's happening all the time or only happening now and then. You can think of libido as your volume settings on your sexual response. So, high libido folks will experience arousal intensely and often. Low libido folks will experience arousal less intensely and less frequently. Attraction is a way for us to think about where that libido is directed. Who's the person or the kind of person that these feelings are being directed toward? Is it the same gender? Is it different genders? Is it no genders? All genders? The directionality of these feelings, particular to you, is described by attraction. So if you're thinking of libido as the volume settings, attraction is your particular song. So, our culture says that these three things, arousal, libido, and attraction, are basically the same thing. And they are all moving in the same direction all the time, and they operate together. And if they don't work that way, then there is something wrong with you. But asexuality teaches us something totally different. Asexuality says they don't have to all work together. They aren't an expression of the same thing. And they don't have to operate all at the same time together. You can experience them differently. You can experience some not at all. Asexuality says these three things are related, but not the same thing. Asexuality also has something to say in specific about attraction. Specifically, that attraction is more complicated than the cultural idea of it. So you see, we have this cultural idea that attraction should be a bit of a monolith. That what the ideal attraction looks like is attraction that's all bound up together. Sexual, romantic, intellectual, mental. We want to feel all of the things for someone in this powerful rush of totality. And if they're not all hurtling together toward the same object of affection, that attraction isn't the attraction. And that relationship isn't the relationship. And we have to keep looking for that attraction that's everything at once. Spoilers, attraction doesn't work that way. In reality, attractions aren't wrapped up all together. They aren't bundled as one. They actually operate very independently. In fact, there are many different kinds of attraction, many different ways we can feel for another person. And they aren't all wrapped up together in one bundle, and they don't have to all be firing together in order to be worthy of pursuit and nurturing. For example, we have sexual attraction, attraction to a person or kind of person that makes you want to have sex with them. There's romantic attraction, attraction to a person or kind of person that makes you want to develop romantic connections with them. Aesthetic attraction, an attraction to the way a person or kind of person looks or the way they carry themselves. Intellectual, attraction to the way a person or kind of person thinks or engages intellectually. There's sensual attraction, attraction to a person or kind of person that makes you want to experience non-sexual touch with them, like hugging, cuddling, kissing, or just touch. And there's alterous attraction, which is an attraction to a person or kind of person that makes you want to develop an emotional connection with them that's somewhere between platonic and romantic, but not exactly either of the two in whole. So all of these attractions, and there are others, they're all working independently within you. For most people, they are all working in the same direction. For example, if you're gay, all of your attractions are generally working all in the direction of someone of the same gender. But for some people, a smaller number, but still a very valid group of people, these attractions don't line up that way. They will either move in different directions or appear in different frequencies, or sometimes some of the attractions just won't show up at all. This is called the split attraction model. What the split attraction model says is that these independent attractions can work very independently of each other, sometimes in contradictory ways. And sometimes you can just not have one or more of them operating at all. So this is how most asexual people experience the world. For asexual people who don't or very rarely experience sexual attraction, that sexual attraction slider is often or always at 0. But they can experience the other attractions, romantic, aesthetic, intellectual, sensual, in varying degrees and intensities. Or they cannot experience others as well. But what matters is that each attraction works independently. What matters in the split attraction model is understanding that not experiencing an attraction is not an absence or some kind of brokenness. It's just a way that people can experience attraction that isn't monolithic. So this leads to a much more rich way of understanding how we're attracted to other people. All of these possibilities can exist thanks to the split attraction model. What's important to note here is that the split attraction model helps make sense of how asexual folks can not feel sexual attraction, but can still feel other attractions and act on them. And the split attraction model also can help allo folks parse out parts of their attractions that don't all work in the same direction. So that's how attraction works. And thanks to the split attraction model, we have a way to understand how allosexual and asexual people can have very different experiences of attraction, but still all be working in the same reality in the same world. So what do asexual people do with their attraction? That's another video.